Hi, welcome to the weekly press conference with Coach Alvin Parker of the VUU football team. And we will have Coach have you make a statement, and then we will open it up to questions.
We just got out of a extremely hot and grueling practice today, so I like the energy of the guys today. Coming off of a Sunday game was something a little different for us. So we know we have a short week to prepare with those guys having off yesterday. So we just kind of got into it today, and good win last weekend, but now it's kind of forging all of our attention towards show.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I've got a couple of questions for you, Coach Parker. First of all, how you doing today?
I'm great, glad you're here.
Yeah, always, Coach, always. You just mentioned the short week. How does that change your normal preparation as you go into week two?
It changes it quite a bit, more than people probably would expect. You'll get a few less days to prepare. I think last year, coming off of a Thursday game, we had about 10 days to prepare before we went into week two. So it'll be a little different, in terms of that. But you kind of just take the week, pick it up and move it up a day, so to speak. So we usually would get those guys off on a Monday. So we kind of kept that since we played on Sunday. And then today was our first work day, which was a Tuesday.
All right. Usually with most football teams, the biggest improvement you see is from week one to week two. Despite the fact that you won in week one, what are you looking to see a vast improvement in going from week one to week two?
I think we want to see some improvements in terms of like the penalties that I think we had. I think we had a lot of action foul penalties, didn't have a lot of pre-snap penalties, which I was kind of, happy about. But in terms of just the overall penalties, I want to see that kind of get a little bit better going from week one to week two. And like I kind of told you all, we got a lot of guys that can make plays. So I seen that on Sunday, so that's one thing. Of course, I want to keep that going. And like everybody else in the country, we don't want to turn the ball over and keep forcing turnovers. So I think we forced about 3 turnovers on Sunday, and we had one ourselves. So just want to make sure you improve on those type of things. I think you get those penalties out of the way, and you get those turnovers out of the way. You put yourself in a good position to win a lot of ball games.
All right. This is only a couple of us. If you don't mind, I'll give my last two in, and then I'll turn it over. First one is CIAA North went 4-2 over the weekend. Arguably one of the toughest divisions, and if it was a separate conference, it'd be one of the toughest in Division II football. What do you have to say about that? And what does this say about this division in this conference right now?
I think I've kind of always said it. We got a bunch of good teams in the CIAA overall, but you see a lot of people in the North making some noise. So I was happy. I'm always cheering for guys every week except for when they play us. But to see it kind of come out of the North was something that was good. To get 2 FCS wins and do some other things good against some non-conference and some South opponents. I think that was pretty good for the CIAA North. But just overall, for the conference, it was good. Of course, those teams are in the North, but just to see the conference go out and win, I think that's kind of one of the things that we kind of put forth a thrust with all the coaches. We want to make sure we win, these out of conference games. So just to see that from a few teams was something that was good. And of course, like you said, some good stuff going on in the CIAA North.
Yeah. My last question. One of the common themes I saw this weekend when I was watching the multiple games that were on. First of all, it was good to be able to easily find a lot of HBCU football to watch this weekend. But the one thing that I saw was special teams were extra special and not in a good way for a lot of teams. If you would comment on your philosophy as far as special teams. You guys had a big special teams play where I can't remember the young man's name, but he literally almost took the ball off the punter's foot on that punt block. And then, so kind of talk about that, how, your preparation for special teams, the fact that you guys were actually able to be on the good side of these special teams plays, but a lot of teams are on the bad side of the special teams plays.
Actually, well, Sunday was not, our best special teams day to me. I thought we did a lot of, things that were good, but we're usually, like you said, extra special. Coach Rowland does a great job with those guys over there. And anytime he's not happy, I'm not happy. So, we want to make sure that we get better with those guys, in this first game type of things that we had. But we made some plays on special teams also. We got 2 blocks. We partially blocked the punt and then we blocked a extra point PAT. We made a bunch of good tackles down there. So them guys did some good things to kind of, go on. But we want to make sure we correct all those things that weren't per se as special for the special teams, because we hang our head on special teams around here. We had a special teams player of the year twice since I've been here. So, we know when he get out there, he's kind of money. We want to make sure we put him in position to be good. And the other guys that we put out there on special teams, it's a whole unit for us. So we want to make sure that anybody that plays special team for us, go out there and plays just like a starter. So that's kind of what we aim at.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, congratulations again on the win Sunday.
Appreciate it.
What do you think that win showed the nation on Sunday about Virginia Union football?
Well, I was glad because a lot of people who I had, I went to school with back in the late 90s and people that had not, necessarily been to a game or seen a lot of what was going on with Virginia Union football kind of reached out. And that was happy. I was happy to see that. That was something that was good. But, I think for all those people that have never seen us play or have never seen the brand that we bring, I think they got to see that on Sunday. Our fans showed up in droves. Our band did great. Our cheer did great. So it was a lot of things associated with, just the whole weekend that went good. I think taking the show on the road to Canton and kind of putting it, in front of 50-some million odd viewers, was something that was good. But I think from a football standpoint, they got to see just the brand we play, the hard-nosed type of football that we play, so I think that was good. And the guys got to go out there and have some fun. I think that was the most thing. We want to make sure, we're going to be able to win a football game and to do some things, but I want you guys to have some fun while we're up here. So they did that as well.
It seemed like Jada has some fun. In our area, we talk so highly about him and the play that he brings to the table along with that offensive line, but a national audience got to see how special he is, and maybe more across the country got to realize how good he is and how good that running game is for Virginia Union.
Yeah, I mean, we got to, Jada is going to be Jada, so, as long as he performs, we know we're going to be good, but to see them other guys do some things, I think David Freeman had some good runs. Rashad Jackson had some good runs. We did some good things and running and pass protection with, Curtis Jackson. Our fullback stepped up and made some plays. So, and of course, none of that can be, possible without the offensive line. So those guys, hang their hat on guys scoring touchdowns and protecting the quarterback and things like that. So, just that brand of football that we play, like I said, that we're going to line down, do what we do, and give these guys a chance to have some fun.
I know you would have liked to have played at home, given, what you guys accomplished last Sunday, but in a weird way, do you think going back on the road against a conference opponent such as Shaw, that'll be a good thing for this team to keep focus on the task at hand?
I think it can work that way too. It's kind of either or. I think coming out of a short week, I would definitely prefer to be at home. But it's how we scheduled it, and we kind of knew what it was. So, but it has a certain type of focus when you take the thing on the road. So we're gonna have to have that focus again that we had last week and going down to Raleigh to play these guys because they're a good football team. So we got to make sure we're in position.
Was there something during the game or something, with your team, did something surprise you, if at all, about what you saw with your group?
It's hard to say that anything surprised me, Sean, but I have been seeing these guys make plays all summer long on both offense and defense. So to kind of get out there and let everybody else see it was something that, was good. But I really didn't have any surprises because I haven't seen these guys make, the type of plays that they made on Sunday all camp long. So, you go out there, you line down the special teams. We know what Marvin Holmes can do. We know what Brady Myers can do. We know what those guys can do. But, all of those other guys that we have on offense and defense that have been making plays, all spring long, all summer long, to kind of get them a chance to do that, that was something that we were pretty much proud of.
And my last question, the message this week for the guys? You mentioned the short week and going on the road, no time to look ahead, but keep them, laser focused on against a pretty good Shaw team.
I mean, the message is we got to kind of double up on some days, and not in terms of practice, but just in terms of mental. A lot of mental reps got to happen, this week. Like I said, with it being a one less day to prepare than they probably had to prepare, we got to have an extra type of focus. So, I saw today those guys with it being so hot, and it's one of our hottest practices, and we're in September, but to see the focus that we had today, we got meetings a little later on, so we'll get those guys back on track mentally. But these guys just got to lock in, and they do that. So, it's kind of what we preach around here every day, and those guys do it, so we're not expecting anything different. We're not going to let the short week be something that we kind of keep talking about or that we put on there. We know what it was when we signed up for it, so we got to get ready for it, Sean. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
If I can, one more. You mentioned the heat. Does that change a little bit? I mean, are you guys on the field practicing before the heat? Or are you doing a lot of more stuff in the classroom, doing a lot more film work?
We're staying on schedule. We're with our normal schedule this week. We'll be outside on the field. The normal time will be, I think, I wish I had this thermostat, sometime that I could turn it down a little bit. But in terms of just how we're going to move, we're going to do everything like we normally do it. Weights are going to be at the same time. Practice is going to be at the same time. Meetings are going to be at the same time. Just the focus we need in those three segments has to be at a high level, and not let those things like the heat or anything else kind of get to you. So just kind of, the biggest thing this week is going to be focus.
And FYI, Jada Byers was named CIAA Offensive Back of the Week. Brady Myers was named Special Teams Player of the Week, and Justin Meade was named Offensive Lineman of the Week by the CIAA. You have any comments on that, Coach?
All three are staples for us. They're all conference guys, all American type performers for us. So any award that those guys get, they definitely deserve. They've earned it because they go out there and they play week in and week out. So we're proud of those guys. Hopefully we can get some more next week.
Are there any more questions for Coach?
I did have one more. I forgot to talk about Jabril and the play he made on the pick six. What did you feel that was a turning point in the game and kind of got everybody else, the level went up a little bit when Jabril makes the play and takes it back the other way for the pick six?
Yeah, we missed a few opportunities on offense, so we needed it, just to kind of open up the gap a little bit, he's been playing his tail off all summer. He's a new guy for us, so to kind of come in and buy into the culture, of what we're doing here and just kind of fit directly in, jump right in and earn a spot, speaks volumes about him, but to make that play that he did on Saturday, I looked at him run that ball back. I might have to put him in running back a couple reps this week, but he carried it, once he got it and made a play, and it was a spark for the team, so he's a great kid, and like I said, he deserves everything that he has coming his way. I wish he would have got a few honors because he played a heck of a game. I think he got 2 turnovers, about maybe like 7-8 tackles, so a sack, so he had a heck of a game.
Are there any other questions? All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll see you again later on this week.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys.